welcome to my video. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 9 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch. And the boats that are going to be in this episode are the Northwestern, Saga, Patricia Lee, the Eleanor J. So, this episode starts out with Sig talking about the fishing, and there's kind of a big storm that some of the fleet will be dealing with, and he's also just talking about the fishery as well. And then this episode starts out with the Northwestern. They are about 500 miles away from Dutch Harbor, and they're about 100 miles away from the U.S.-Russian line in the Bering Sea. They're about to start hauling in their gear when Sig gets a text that is not normal from Mandy, and she's like, when you get a moment, have Clark come up to the wheelhouse. I need to talk to both of you. Sig calls Clark up to the wheelhouse, and then Clark comes up and they call Mandy. There is a little bit of a complication with Mandy's pregnancy in this episode. After they get off the call, they get back to fishing. Their first pot comes up with like 37 bear crab in it. Then the next one has 40, and then I think they get like 70 plus bear. And Sig's like, let's stack it all on and we're gonna move closer to Dutch Harbor where we can get you out if we need to. Then it goes to the Saga. The Saga is in the area they were in the last episode fishing for black cod. That area was doing very well the last episode, but this episode they're pulling up a couple to maybe 10 or so black cod per pot. So Jake starts stacking his gear on, and he gives Captain Rip a call to... Jake's like, I don't ever ask for information, but I have so much on the line, it's not even funny. I have my life savings put into the Saga, and if Jake does not catch all the quota for black cod, he will lose the Saga to Sean Dwyer. So Jake calls Captain Rip on the Patricia Lee and asks him what depths he's seen black cod in, and he's like, it's about the 350 fathom mark. Jake's like, I'm gonna come down to your area and stay away from you, but set it so we're in that depth and we don't get tangled in each other's pots, and they're both long lining. Patricia Lee is set up for long lining crab fishing, doing that for black cod fishing because that's how it goes with black cod fishing. Then it goes to the Eleanor J. They are hauling in their Dungeness crab pots, which are basically circular crab pots in strings. It's basically long lining, but they're very small traps that you can lift like this and throw them over the side of the boat. I think they have about 1,200 of those crab pots or so on deck or with them. I think some are in some area and some are in another area, and they're just hauling in the gear. They're not doing very well. So then Sean starts stacking on the gear, and they're gonna move to some different grounds. Then it goes to the Saga. They start setting their gear on the new grounds in the new depths that Captain Rip said would be really good black cod grounds. So he starts setting his gear there. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern is just getting to their new grounds, which is closer to Dutch Harbor. They are setting their gear. They'll see how they do in the new grounds, because the bear fishery, it's a very spotty fishery. You don't necessarily know where they're going to be. You think they're going to be in one spot, but then they could be in a different spot. So it's a pretty tough fishery to fish in. Then it goes back to the Patricia Lee. They start hauling in their gear. They're getting about single digits to 20 golden king crab. And they have one of the biggest golden king crab quotas in the fleet. I think it's like 1 million pounds of golden king crab. So they're sending their gear. Then it goes back to the Eleanor J. They start sending their pots in this goalie, and Captain Sean wants to set the strings in different depths of water. Go from deeper to shallower water in this canyon, divot in the Bering Sea by an island, and they're gonna set about 1,200 pots in that one area and see how they do. Then it goes to the Saga. The Saga is still setting their gear. The Patricia Lee, they're starting to go through the gear. They're still not doing good. Jake thought he had set his gear far away from where Captain Rip had set his, but their gear got tangled, so the Patricia Lee crew is having to deal with that, which is very dangerous. Then it goes back to the Eleanor J. The Eleanor J starts going through their gear, and the first pot comes up with 7 Dungeness crab, then the next one comes up with like 21, and then I think they're getting like 30 plus Dungeness crab per pot. Captain Sean's like, we're going to be able to finish our season with that amount of crab that we're getting right now. So he and the crew are happy and it's working out good. Then it goes back to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern starts going through their gear. It starts out slow, and then it just starts picking up, and they get to a point and in their string, and they're getting like 70 plus Bairdi crab. They started with like 7, then 21, and then it just kept going higher and higher up until 73 plus Bairdi crab. So they're gonna be able to fill their quota up pretty quickly and get them back to Dutch Harbor and get back to Seattle. Then it goes back to the Eleanor J, and they are doing really well, and the crew is very happy about that. Then it goes to the Northwestern, and the Northwestern is doing very well with the Bairdi crab pots, and they're happy that they're doing so well. Then it goes to a salty take for the Eleanor J, and the Eleanor J's greenhorn, he's puking over the side of the starboard side of the rail, and Captain Sean is laughing and stuff with another crew member up in the wheelhouse. They were like, since he was getting sprayed with his own puke and stuff, they're like, dunk your head in that tank over there. So the greenhorn does that, and they get a good laugh out of that. Then it goes back to the Patricia Lee, and the Patricia Lee gives Jake a call over the radio to ask him if he had set his gear where he did on top of his, and Jake was like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. So it was not the best situation, but Jake was starting to see more golden king crab in the pots he was hauling up. So he tells Captain Rip that they're at this depth. So now that Captain Rip is not doing so well. So after he hears what Jake told him, he's like, we're gonna go set our gear in that depth and see how we do. The Saga is hauling in their gear, and the first pot comes up with like, I think it was 270 black cod. Another pot comes up with 370 black cod, and then another one has like 478 black cod, which is extremely well. Those are some of the highest pots they've pulled this season. Captain Jake and the crew are really happy, and they're gonna catch the black cod quota that they have, and Jake's gonna be able to keep the Saga. It goes back to the Eleanor J, and the crew is really happy that they're doing so well, and they're starting to really make money now, because pretty much all season they've been moving around just trying to find really good fishing. And the Northwestern is also doing pretty good fishing, so they'll finish out their Paradise season pretty strongly. And then after the Patricia Lee had set their gear, it shows them hauling it in, and their pots are like, they're very full. So he is very happy that Jake gave him the coordinates that he did, and that had happened with our gear. So that is how episode 9 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, please share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.